Giardino here.
Jeff Weingart.
Cindy Lewis.
Hasdall here.
Karen Duroff here. Lori Pritzl O'Keefe.
Jerry Rattle.
Denise Barker.
We have a visitor back here or somebody that wants to join the group. Are you here to join the committee or are you just a visitor?
Just a visitor.
Okay, Cindy, can you certify the posting of the meeting, please?
Yep, I certify that the ad hoc, Town of Rome Ad hoc Solar Committee agenda was posted on Tuesday, December 9th, for the 11, December 11th, was posted at Rome Town Hall at 3:03 p.m. It was posted at Quick Trip, and it was, oh my goodness, sorry, posted on December 9th at the Rome Town Hall, 3:03 p.m., posted at Quick Trip LLC, 3:20 p.m., posted at Nakusa Port Edward State Bank at 3:31 p.m., and emailed to the Wisconsin Rapids Tribune at 3:38 p.m.
Thank you. You all have a copy of the agenda. I'm looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Moved in second.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll get going. First thing we need to do is to approve the meeting minutes from the last meeting. You all have a copy of that? Do we need to go through it, or is everybody basically in agreement with what's there?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the minutes from last meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. All right, so let's get into today. Today's meeting was primarily booked following the testimony in the hearing that we had last week as sort of a debrief. I'm not sure where we want to start with this. We can go around the room and just get everybody's comments. We could start with Vito.
Well, from what I saw, I went to the first meeting, and I really think we did an excellent job. I just hope it fell on the right ears.
Denise?
I found it interesting that who was called the law judge in advance of the hearing said that all he was there for was taking the record, because I thought we were presenting to him for him to make a referral based on our testimonies at that hearing. And he was saying that was not the case. So I was pretty disappointed about that.
I asked him after the hearing, and I said to him, so you said twice now that you're basically going to transpose all of the testimony here and present it to the PSC. And I said, can you tell me with certainty that they're going to read this? And he said, what I can tell you is with certainty that we will transpose all of your testimony and we will give it to the PSC. Can I say that I'm standing over them to watch them read it all? No, I can't say that. I will say, he said, I will say that I've been in meetings before where they've referenced specific testimony that was collected and had discussions about it. So I would assume that they're going to read it all, but I can't prove that and I can't promise that. That's what he said. Gary?
I was kind of discouraged about it because the fact that the three people who represent the PSC, I mean, how do you determine for a community, if you don't even come and visit it? I mean, you take information into them and they decide. I kind of feel that this is kind of a rubber stamp thing and they're going to move on. That's how I feel. After the meeting on that evening, I went out to the restroom, and when I came back out of the restroom, I seen the court reporter and next year all out there laughing and talking like this is just some big.
Was this on the second
just
meeting,
go-
Gary?
yeah.
The
Pardon?
second meeting?
This is after the meeting,
Which one? The first meeting?
the evening one.
Yeah, okay.
You saying the court reporter, the lady who was taking down all
Yes.
the testimony? Was,
Yeah. They were out there at that point, my mind's working. I better leave. So I left. It's discouraging, I think.
I agree.
I agree too. Oh, I'm proud of the community that stood up. I think they did an awesome job. I was impressed. But I'm frustrated that they don't get to see the emotions on the people that,
Yeah.
Yeah, but they took a video of it, Lori.
I know, but they don't watch it. They don't.
Communication is 80 to 90% nonverbal. So they basically got 10% of it.
Right, exactly.
That's what I was gonna say, is communication is 90% what you see, and 10% what's written down. And so, my impressions of everybody that spoke was phenomenal. I was blown away at how articulate everybody was, concise about getting their point across. And, you know, I'm not from Rome, but if I was from Rome and I lived here, I would be very, very proud of my friends and neighbors for how they articulated themselves in front of that law judge in a public hearing like that. That's not easy to do. And so I think everybody in that respect got their point across to say what needed to be said in all the various topics that, you know, Carl had put forth for everybody. And then, like you said, hopefully it didn't land on deaf ears. You know, but I do know the law judge works for the PSC.
I talked to Stan the other day. He went through and watched all the videos, and he said that he's never seen anything like this. He's done many of them, he said, over time. He said, we blew everybody else away that's been going through this process by 3 times. He said, well, no. Christiana, maybe you beat him by twice. He said he couldn't believe how professional we were, how organized we were, and effective. He thought we were very effective. Concerning them not seeing the videos, they're going to see them, because I just got a list yesterday of all the TV stations in the state. So they're all going to get emails with the whole process. There's a couple of them. Dylan from Channel 9, who's been keeping up on things, he reported it that night. We were on that night. But I'm going to give him the whole thing and point out different areas for him to look at, especially with that woman who went on first one at the second meeting. Holy crap, was she good.
Tennessee.
Huh?
That one from Tennessee.
She had notes, but she's just going on. Holy crap, where did she come from?
Did she email you? Because she asked for your email.
No, not yet. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
But I mean, the testimony's all out there. And if you go on to one site there, somebody put it on there, I relisted it, but you hit their name and it'll bring up each person's testimony. There's 39 that gave testimony.
39, okay.
And they hadn't seen anything like that in the past. Even the judge, I went up to him after the thing, and he gave us kudos basically for everything we did.
He said there was probably only 1 or 2 others that went to the length that we went to.
Yeah, according to Stan, they still weren't close. But I got a lot of work to do yet. There's Channel 9. I'm going to check with Stan, because it seems to me that when the PSC does their voting on this, I believe it has to be an open meeting. So I'm going to find out if they have an open meeting, the date and time, and say,
We should
get
all
a bus
go
go.
down.
You
Go
bet.
down.
Yeah.
We'll go down there.
Yeah.
We should get a bus to go
yeah,
down there
yeah.
and fill it.
Yeah, I believe I read somewhere it has to be an open meeting, so I'll get details on that. I don't know what kind of notice we'll get, if any, and I'd love to be able to ask them some questions. You know,
Can we,
I don't
do
know.
you think?
I have no idea. I was just dreaming about that today, and I thought I'm going to send a list to Stan. I got another list going to Stan, and you guys at Nextera Akron, find out you're going to have some trouble getting up and down our roads here, because we're going to have weight restrictions on there. And you're going to have some angry vendors. They're not going to like having to switch loads. So we can do that. There's things we can do still, and we're going to do them if they get through. Yeah. I'm just telling her on the front side, because it's been done before and it's going to be done again. So we're not done. And what else? I put something else today. There's a group out there called 350 Wisconsin. Somebody, Nancy, I forgot the last name, found it, sent it on, I put it on the website. It's some cult, we'll say, out of Madison. That's why we're getting all these comments out of Madison and Milwaukee, because they seem to be just in that area. So, again, I sent a letter to all my nieces, nephews, and kids, and told them to send all their friends. As long as they're going to do it from out of state and everywhere, we'll do the same thing. So, my son's got like 1,400 followers or something. I don't know. He's a big realtor down in Chicago. So, get them out to everybody. Just shoot it. Tom, Dick, and Harry. Put it on there. So, screw them all. Anything else?
I was just going to say too, you know what's a shame, Vito, when you said that they're not going to see the emotion, because you weren't at the 6 o'clock meeting, were you?
No.
I mean, that Mark Lebecki, he's
Yes.
a grown man that is almost in tears.
Yeah.
That his testimony, I've lived here for 55 years, and you know what? That's what they need to see. And I do believe, it's a shame that the judge was just there. that he's just passing this on, because you could see the emotion. There was a couple times too, I was sitting right behind the Nextera people, and those 4 young people, there was a couple times where their body language, either, the eyebrows went up or they were, so there were things, I don't think it's gonna change anything on their behalf, but there were things that was that were new information to them that day. So there was, definitely things, and it's a shame that, like I said, it's a shame that the PSC.
Were they there at the first meeting? I didn't see them.
Yeah, they
Oh,
were
yeah,
there.
sitting out right in the
Oh, yeah.
front.
Seats.
Where?
They were right in the front, the
All the
4
way on
young
the, if
people
you're
on
facing the judge, all the way on the right.
They didn't want to have something hurled at them.
On the right, meaning if you're facing the judge, be on your right side.
Yep,
No, facing the judge, they were on, oh, yeah, to
Facing-
facing,
yeah.
yeah.
you're the right.
Really?
Right. And you know what? The newspaper, I don't know how I got on there, on the news station, but I mean, I had.
Front and center.
Probably because what I said.
You were very good.
I wanted
Yes.
sites,
Yep.
and from a, anyway, they took that out, but there were people, I was really shocked, you guys, even today at the Y. I mean, I probably had about 15 to 20 people at the Y, hey Cindy, I saw you, and at school up in Rapids. So,
To give them a site to sign on and start making comments?
no, I will tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's too late.
Tomorrow? No, they can do it tomorrow. Today's through
Today's-
tomorrow.
Okay.
They got through tomorrow. Yeah.
I will. Well, you know what? There are a lot. What it is, though, is that also allowed a lot of discussion. And people where this wasn't just, oh, we don't want a solar farm. And
Yeah,
let me
yeah.
tell you about. And I think what was very powerful, you guys, too, is when Terry Taddock, when he brought that information about the 4,200 acres, that combination of land. And when I tell people that, and I said, this isn't just about, we don't want it in our backyard. This is bigger. And I tell them about the biggest one in the U.S., if not the biggest one in North America. I tell them about the BESS, about the solar, the battery system. They're like, what? I'm like, I can't tell you that it won't affect Rapids.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of opportunities for us to get.
Yeah, they say that battery thing is 25-mile radius.
Yeah, with the wind, yeah. And now they're talking about heavy metals on those things coming down, and there's a lot they don't know.
Right. Well, and there was a lot of what I appreciated too is there was a lot of facts.
Yeah.
So yes, there was emotion involved, you guys, but there was a lot of facts that people had that was either new information or, that was really good. I'm proud of us the way that we kind of divided and conquered and made sure that we got it out there. They did not stick to the 3 minutes, though, did they?
No, I'd say he's very fair. I mean, give everybody time, never cut anybody off.
Oh, gosh, I would have.
I mean, he wouldn't allow any of us,
That's what we said.
I would have known.
Terry said too, if he would have been limited, he said, we didn't know that. We thought we were like, oh, 3 minutes now, you're done.
I think with the crowd we had there, he was probably afraid to enforce it.
Well, he was getting nervous that it was going to go a little bit longer than he
Yeah.
thought it was going to go, but Terry's analogy of the giant ink spot on a Picasso.
That was,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I thank everybody too for all your contributions to that meeting. I can tell you that there were some points made repetitiously that should have caught the PSC's
Yes.
attention. One of them being, many people said that in meetings that they attended, that Nextera said, if you don't want us here, we won't
Yes.
be here.
Remember?
I heard that 4 or 5 times.
Yes.
Yes.
At least.
And none of us had talked. Gary and I have talked, but they said that, Gary.
The guy that said it was sitting right there.
Daniela?
Yeah, and a couple of times, I think probably 3 times it was brought up. I know I brought it up, I think you brought it up, somebody else brought up about making them purchase a bond. That would ruffle their feathers a lot. So if they're listening, yeah, your feathers should be ruffled, because I think we still have an opportunity, even if they approve this, to go forward and to insist that they purchase a bond, because they are an LLC. And as I pointed out, that means they have a limited liability. They could just walk away and leave us with everything and nothing, and certainly the liability that's there. But the other thing is, and I know everybody was disappointed about the fact that we had an administrative law judge who was not an appointed judge. He was not an elected judge, and as we find out later, he's basically more endowed with that title as an attorney to collect information. That's not how I thought it was going to turn out to be either. But I think the fact that it's going to be reduced to transcripts, where you lose all of the essence of the words. This, in my view, goes against the PSC's ultimate fiduciary responsibility to the citizens of the state of Wisconsin. And in that vein, as I said to Carl, and I'm going to push this to the nth, if they approve this permit, we need to initiate a class action lawsuit. Give all the other communities to buy, because as you know, Scott tied this thing up with a nice bow. I mean, he admonished the guy about having it in Nakusa and not here, but he also went on 30-0. The process isn't working. There is no process, and that's, you know, and if they read that, now you have a state representative that basically said the same thing. And the PSC has a responsibility to take this seriously, not just go.
That attorney, since he works for him, I think he has to go back to them with some of the questions we raised. The one Terry Tatasek had about over the whole area, about not doing the EIS study. Some of the other things, there was a couple more points that that could put him in legal peril, we'll say. And I think he's required to go back. I'm drafting a letter to Stan on that too, to ensure it does get back to them, to let them know that there's other issues. And like doing the butterfly, they can't do anything with that until spring. You know, because they did no field studies here whatsoever. They only did the field studies for the pipeline. So they're ignoring all that, and several people brought that up about just, I think Jess had it and some others, just ignoring, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Yeah, that's nonsense.
Well, you
and
can't.
BS.
You
No.
can't, and you know, I'm kind of thinking about going back to the DNR, but I don't think they'll do anything. But the whole point of wintertime construction, they're going to destroy
well,
everything that's there.
They're
It's
not
not
gonna-
going to be an incidental destruction. It's going to be complete, total annihilation.
They don't have any idea what's going on. They were talking about the soils, and yesterday when we were affirming our testimony, there was no cross-examination, although I guess it was open for that. When those guys got up there and said, "Yeah, I affirm everything that says true and correct," yeah, you're lying. You know, where's your support from the town? Where's your support from the businesses? What studies have you done? You know, who rubber stamped this? And it just, I was wanting to do that, but hopefully we'll have, according to Stan, we do have another opportunity to speak somewhere, somehow. I don't know what, but
Then we
we'll
should
find
take
out.
some notes about where they lied and then call them on the.
Well, we did do that. In testimony, you had Tim. He was up there and talked about the business being effective because they said there's no economic impact, and he said, "Oh, BS," basically. You had Mike Irwin get up there and say none of the business has been contacted, and you know it was all just basically falsehoods, you know, lies.
I was going to say really quick, if you go into into their website, the hearing session from yesterday is on there, so it's a YouTube video. You can click on the link and open that up. Yep, or I can
You know,
send it out to everybody.
Okay.
I just can't help but think, when you brought up the fact that Nextera has said on numerous occasions that we're not going to build if they don't want it.
Yeah.
But
Another lie.
but wait a minute now. Bear in mind, we came in behind the 8 ball with this administration.
Yeah.
First and foremost, the county wanted it.
Yes and no.
Second of all, our past administration wanted it. We came in 18 months later.
Yeah, what we don't know is, that's the other thing too. With that note that went up with 350 Wisconsin, I'm thinking about doing an open records request to the PSC and 350 and see if there's any communications between the two groups. You know, who put 350 up to this?
What's 350?
That's a cult out there.
A what?
It seems like a paid cult. You look up 350 Wisconsin. They'll fight for, supposedly some kind of climate clowns. You know, the climate's, well, we're not getting there, but it's. You read through
Advocates
it looks
that
like
get their information
they'll-
where they're not.
they'll
welcome.
push whatever you pay them to push,
Right.
basically.
So you guys probably remember one of the people that spoke. I don't know if it was before me or after me, but he had a stocking cap on, and I didn't recognize him. Nobody recognized him. Yeah, he was there on behalf, he doesn't live here. He lives in Milwaukee. His parents have land here. And then what he basically told me, and he reached out a couple of times on Facebook Messenger, but he said that there was a conservation group that purchased some of the land. And basically, he said, I wish I'd found this a week ago. Apparently, they sold some land back in 2022. This is Meteor, a conservative group, a conservation group. And the article specifically mentions sensitive species that are recognized. And then he said, again, I ended up making another PSC comment mentioning the hypocrisy in the previous sale of lands and the link I sent you. I also messaged with Derek Van Orden over the weekend. He opposes the solar farm but can't do much to help at the federal level. Well, sure as hell he can. He's got a line to the
Doesn't want
freaking
to.
president of the United States. So all I can say is he should be able to do something. Well, Chris Wright, the guy that I sent the letter to, did stop all the federal funds. He did halt it all. Now, I'm not saying that he did that because I sent him the letter, but the fact that's exactly what I wanted him to do, and whether that rolls out into this whole thing and whether it stops NextEra or not, I don't know. And it looks like they only had 50 million, but 50 million I don't have. I would take it. But anyhow, he said, I don't know if anyone ever got in touch with him or not. I heard his name mentioned a few times at the meeting recordings. I dug a little more on the previous sale of land to the Nature Conservancy.
Yeah.
In 2022, they may be an advocate on the town side. Maybe they'd even buy more land from the timber company. Some things I thought about over the weekend.
They've purchased over 8,000 acres down south of us over the last couple of years. We were in talks with them back when I was on the board prior 2 years ago about doing that very same thing. And
How far south, Carl?
Big Flats and whatnot, just
So
south of
now-
us. Yeah.
Now, going to what Terry was saying, Saratoga is going to have two,
Mm-hmm.
possibly us, and now Big Flats.
No. I'm talking about conservative. Nature's conservance.
Okay, my
They've
bad.
purchased around 8,000 acres in various areas in the state. They've got a lot of funding. They're advocates are just put it in goes into conservation and it's never touched again. So we were dealing with them a couple of years ago and that just kind of fell away. But they're always available.
Does the school district have a section of land out here for?
Yeah, they've got 40 acres down Alpine.
So wouldn't the school district have some investment in participating in saying no to this solar farm?
Well,
because of
they're not that
property?
close. They're coming down here and over here to the west of us, but not quite down that far. That's the Chester Creek area. It's quite a ways down there. It's on the north side of Alpine. That's where they want to put the disc golf.
Right. Just west of 15th,
Okay,
in that area.
okay.
Between 15th and Z, on the north side of the street.
Yeah, these guys are going to be east of 14th Avenue.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Right.
I'm hoping that the PSD considers some of the things that were brought out that were facts, like the risk of the BESS and
So what's the timeline?
between now and May 15th, but
So we're talking, let's see, this is December, what, 5 months? We're going to wait for a decision?
could be next week. We don't know.
there
I
could
mean,
be some back and
yeah.
forth, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Between them and NextEra regarding some of the things that they want to see locked up before they approve or not approve.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard too. They're planning doing a JDA with the county, and I talked to Stan about that. He goes, "Yeah, so what? They can pound that up their rear end. That doesn't mean anything for us. There's not much they can do with a JDA. It's
What is a JDA?
joint development agreement, and
That's like the planning commission, they
yeah,
starting to get buying land and getting everything finalized. Am I right?
all the details. Yeah, you work out
Gotta
all the
finalize
details
it.
on there, but we're at this point we have no interest in talking to them about that. They asked me about it back in June, and I said talk to the attorney.
So let me ask you this question here. We know the county wants the money.
No, hold on. The county has had a meeting with them. There might be one or two people in the county that have talked to them. Right now they're in a neutral position, and according to Phil McLaughlin, the board's not involved.
Why?
Ask Phil.
I mean, we
No
do
idea.
we have what, 3 representatives here in town?
Yeah.
Who are they?
Mark Samelstead, Mike Baker,
Wait a minute.
Phil McLaughlin.
Mike Baker. Phil. What was the first name?
Mark. from-
Mark, he's on the board
Samelstead.
here.
Yeah.
He's on our town board.
Yeah.
And there's Phil, and then there's Mike. Well, my question is, not a one of them can put it on their agenda?
I have no idea what the issue is with them. No idea. No feedback.
I mean, it would be nice to have them, at least starting to shake the cage a little over on that end.
Well, Mark went down and talked to Cynthia last week, and she said they're basically neutral on it, because he asked her about the JDA.
Well, how can it be neutral if no one knows anything about it on the board?
Well, they're not pushing it. They're not signing she said they're not signing the JDA at this point, and they really haven't agreed to anything.
Neutral's better than for it,
Yeah.
Or they're just not saying.
But I'm wondering if the county board needs to hear from us.
Well, you got Mark Samelstead in on there.
Well, I think, was there somebody from the board at the meeting last week?
Yeah.
Well, they did hear from us,
Mark was there.
loud and clear.
Mark was there, yeah.
No, I don't mean our board, I mean Adams County Board.
Yeah.
Mark's on the board?
Yeah. There's really not much the county can do. I mean, they get the bulk of the money, but they don't have much involvement in this. There's one county road that involves them, County D. The rest of them are our roads or state highway. So the county doesn't have much at all.
What do you want to bet they've already budgeted that money?
No, they haven't. Well, it wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think so.
Oh, we can buy this with that.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think when they first threw out the numbers 2 years ago, everybody's looking at the funds and not thinking about anything else.
Is there anything else that we can think of to do between now and, we got till the 12th to put comments out there, but I thought there was something about that if you write a comment in before the other one has already been,
We still got the media.
yeah.
And they can put like Stan said. He said if they're going to bend to public pressure, it'll be us.
Well, then how do we get the media more involved?
Well, again, I'm taking a little more work than I thought, creating a feedback form because I started compiling stuff and I've got oh gosh, I don't know how many websites. I got 3 pages of websites. I got to start weeding those out because you got all the best fires, and it's not just here. They're England, Australia,
They're
Germany.
not reporting them all either.
Huh?
They're not reporting.
No, they're not. They're not. And every time we just got that new one out about the heavy metal coming down, from the vapors and stuff. It's holy crap. Every time you turn around, it gets worse. So keep adding those to it. But just the commentary too. I'm trying to get them involved in the commentary. Then I've got the petitions, and again, he wouldn't accept our petitions that were. It was nonsense. So.
Yeah, but he had a logical show.
did.
It
had
was
a logical
logical what he
reason.
showed.
No, it wasn't. If he went on the website, he would follow it. Boom, boom, boom. Sign here.
I know, but I'm thinking
Wasn't
there's a
logical.
printed name, it wouldn't have a signature. Is that going to stand up?
Yes, you can email signature now is as good as a signature.
Right.
Yes.
Electronic signature.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can do mortgages and everything else with an electronic signature.
Yeah, he's made up the rules as he's going along. Basically, he wouldn't let me speak. I couldn't speak. Emily couldn't speak.
Mark couldn't speak. Mark Kane?
Mark, yeah, we couldn't speak.
Well, the construction on this thing, if it's approved, is supposed to start in December of 2026, which is a year from right now. I don't know what that means in the case that the PSC has until May. Will they take all that time, or will they issue?
I don't think they have a choice. They're going to have to look and see about what they haven't done because one of the things Terry brought up again with the EIS, they're required to do it by the DNR, and they can't waive it.
But the DNR isn't making them do it.
Well, then we take them to court.
The
and
guy
say,
just told me he
that's-
wasn't.
Right.
They were.
That's-
We have our reports. That's what he said.
that's-
We have our reports.
Well, that's the other thing. If they vote to let this thing go through, now we start with the courts, and we can file an appeal. We lose, file another one. We've got so many grounds to file on that we just keep them in court for a year or two. maybe until they just give up and realize it ain't gonna work. Again, they haven't run it, I mentioned at a meeting this morning with the Adams County Economic Development, they haven't run into a buzzsaw like Rome. The other towns, they didn't have the resources, they didn't have the people behind them, they just rolled over. We're not rolling over.
We're not rolling over.
You know that Jason Adams, who's their, what do you call it, for protection for like fires and stuff, he's their safety
Yeah.
guy, engineer. He said there's nothing, that only smoke comes out of them. In his testimony, he said that.
We have pictures of flames coming
Yeah.
out. What's he talking about?
Yeah.
Again,
Nothing else
it's
comes out of it,
nonsense.
just smoke.
Yeah, yeah.
And they showed pieces down in Moss Landing, out 5 miles out in the marsh.
Yeah.
Big chunks of batteries and stuff.
Well,
He didn't say they didn't. Nobody said they exploded.
They explode, yeah,
Yeah.
you got,
But
now you
when
got.
they had these meetings, they said it's just as safe as walking around with your phone in your back pocket. They said that at the meetings, that last meeting they had.
Yeah.
There's nothing going to hurt you.
Yeah, they're lying.
All them testimonies are lies. They pay a company from Appleton, experts, to say all this stuff. Well, if they hire me to say something, I'm gonna be definitely telling the right things, so I get paid for all that stuff.
Yeah.
And to me, the people who are experts, all the experts were in that meeting from the town of Rome. We live here. We know what we need to do here. We protect this. We're the experts, not somebody from Madison or Appleton or Florida who represent next year. We should have the right. And personally, I think if we don't go after them, if this tries to go through, I'm not going to stay here if it gets here. My wife says we're out. I mean, I don't want to live in that. I don't want to 5 years down the road have the water contaminated. And then I read today there's somebody posted out the contracts for when they lease the land. They got in there, they say 25 to 30 years, but they also can extend it. The landowner can't, but if you read that whole thing they post.
That's what I was saying. It was either they could extend it or they could they could abandon it.
Right. They could be there 50 years. 50 years held hostage here. We
why
can't
we need
afford
the bond.
not to go after them.
We need the bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, we'll have to bring it up to the town residents, back taxpayers, and see what they want to do, but I got a feeling it's not going to be a tough argument.
Did you guys all see that bogus clip from Meteor Timbers? On
The one
Facebook?
you sent me? Yeah.
Did you guys
Yeah,
all see that?
yeah, what a joke.
I didn't see it.
It was the managing director of
I'd like him to be at this meeting. I'd like him to see face to face.
yeah, I don't know how I would find that. But
We got to be getting under their skin,
a couple of times it came up.
yeah.
Well, and you know what, this is what I think a lot of what we've done is brought this to the forefront. We've got Media Timber. Where are they based out of Canada?
It's an investment group, international pretty much.
Okay, an international, group, an investor group for Media Timber. And then you have this NextEra out of Florida. They don't give a flying hoot about what happens here. And I honestly think they were not expecting
No,
the pushback either that they were getting.
no.
All right, Hammy, you ready? Let's go
Because
for a spin.
they haven't gotten the pushback, they haven't gotten.
If it blows up, they don't care. They don't live here.
Yeah.
I bet you all of them that work for them probably don't even live near a solar farm, and they probably wouldn't want to.
Well, you asked them that, remember
they-
when you asked them
they
at that
don't.
meeting?
Yeah.
They don't
I
answer.
asked them at here, and
That's what I'm saying. A year ago, that December 3rd meeting or
we're
whatever.
done with that question. Let's go on to the next one. They don't want to talk about. One guy, the guy that said that he wouldn't, if we didn't want him, we wouldn't be. I live next to a tower. What? A cell phone tower? A TV tower? What do you live? Didn't say a solar farm. He said a
Yeah,
tower.
yeah.
But that was one of the things I was happy about. About 5 times they heard, and it's in the transcripts. We were told by NextEra, if they do not want it, if the community is not for it, what did he say, Gary? We have other lands, we have other.
We have other land. And then after that first meeting, a gentleman, I've never seen him before, but he came up and he said, if this don't work out for you, I have other land.
So
That's in their testimony,
Did-
too.
Was
The
Stan
testimony
able,
says that.
Yeah.
was Stan able to ask to cross-examine them or anything on that statement? I mean, I would love to get them on record.
Apparently, the opportunity was there, but like their attorneys didn't cross-examine anybody, neither did PSC or.
Stan needs to ask
I don't know.
that question
yeah.
right in front of the PSC.
We may have another opportunity for that, though. That's what I'm thinking.
But that
He-
would be critical, especially if they say that right in front of the PSC. Did you say this to the town residents?
Yeah.
And if he says no, you got him in a lie. And we can produce that on video.
We got quite a
And if
few
he
of them,
says
yeah.
yes, you can say then why haven't you then abandoned your permit?
Yeah.
If you told them that several times and several people testified under oath that they heard you say that,
Well, we got video of it, so those are all recorded.
but I mean that would be pretty powerful right in front of the PSC. Of course, I think the PSC, like anybody else, I mean this is a shell game of money, and everybody wants the money. The
Yeah.
money would be however much this thing is going to cost. The money's going to be spent here, even though we're not getting the dollars. I mean, they're buying solar panels from freaking China. Yeah, there'll be out-of-state workers that are going to come here and build this thing.
Yeah.
They just will, and whatever's left over to operate the thing. If there's anybody here, I would like to meet them.
You know, I kind of wonder, what is the driving force with Nextera? How much money have they spent thus far? That has to be the driving force.
Their driving force is Vanguard, BlackRock. Those are the major investors in NextEra.
But my question is, how much money now do you think?
How much money? Vanguard has more money than
So-
God. BlackRock has more money than God.
So they've already invested X number of dollars, so they're going to fight.
It's pocket change at this point for what they're going to their return's going to be.
This is sense.
NextEra has a reputation for getting a good return on their money. So when I worked in private equity, when our company, Atlas Holdings, when we would raise a fund, like it would be $1 billion fund, to go out, which is a pool of money to go out and start making acquisitions, the investors would buy that thing out in less than a week.
Yeah.
Because they knew that if you invested your money with Atlas, you're going to get 25% return on your money. And that's exactly what they do. And then they get that money and they go out and start making acquisitions. They hire people like me to run it, and they make more money on it, and then they sell it, get all their money back, and boom. And that's exactly what NextEra is going to do. They're going to sell this thing and get all their money back, and then probably about half of it will go back to the investors with a nice profit, and the rest of it goes right in their pocket, including any subsidies they got from the federal government.
Jeff, do we have a list of the other communities that are being affected with them trying to come in that don't want them? Do we have that kind of list put together for a class action?
Well, the class action would be not necessarily people that are having this done to them, but people that have already lived through this. Remember, the class action lawsuit would be against the PSC, not against NextEra. They could name them if they wanted to. They could name them as a co-defendant. But if the PSC were singled out and just saying that you have a process that is not working, you're not following it, you're not representing the people of Wisconsin like you're supposed to, it's in your charter, it's in all your expectations, it's in the requirements, your fiduciary responsibility, you've not done it, and here's the proof. Now, what we ask for relief, I don't know what that would be, because the money isn't going to make this go away. But if we ask for relief of something that helps everybody else down the road, well, then that would be a good thing. It may be too late for us, but at least we can help the state. Now, there's legislation out there right now that if it passes, everybody's going to be protected. Because the bill that Scott's got out there,
No. That's only for small potatoes. That isn't us.
that's not us.
559, I think it is. That's not us. That's for home units and
No, the one that
anything smaller than 100 megawatts.
like 25, I think, of what I want to say was of this year. And basically, they said in that bill, if it passes, and I don't even know if it's going to get voted on, but if that bill passes, not only will they not be able to do it without the residents' approval, 2/3 of the residents have to approve it.
Good.
2/3, and there has to be revenue sharing. like in the form of reduced, like a credit on your energy bill. Now, that means that if somebody decides that they want it, because the residents say, well, you know, I would like to get a 25% or a 50% reduction on my energy bill, I would like that, I'll vote in favor of it. Well, then fine, then you got it. It's what the residents want then at that point in time. Now, whether that bill will ever pass or whether it'll ever get to the floor, I don't know.
The one that'll affect us is just sitting out there. Scott introduced it about 3 years ago, and that's not going anywhere. The one they're working on right now is, and they're both touting it, is for the smaller units under 100 megawatts.
You know, we're hanging our head.
Those are the ones that aren't controlled by the PSC. Over 100, all PSC.
Okay.
You know, I was thinking we're counting on possibly a lawsuit. Well, first and foremost, the PSC is a state agency, so we're going to go to a state court.
You can sue the state.
I know, but
It'll probably start here in the circuit court.
what I'm saying is a state court is going to sue a state agency. I would think jumping up to a federal court.
You may not have that option.
That's my point.
Yeah, we don't know.
That's my point. So
That's an attorney question to answer.
Yeah, but you know what? If it doesn't go the way you want it to go, you can always file an appeal, and you can be heard by the Supreme Court. And you would.
if you have an appeal, you have to have grounds for appeal. Just because you don't like the decision means you can,
Understand.
okay, I want to go to appeal. You got to have grounds.
We have grounds right now, at least 3.
Okay. All right. So
I
all-
would think we have even more than 3.
Stan's real comfortable with 3 right now.
Okay. That'll keep them tied up for a while.
Yeah, of course. Ching. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, so right now we're in a waiting game. That's all we're going to do. We have no idea what the time frame is.
No, we'll keep going with the media as best we can. I'm waiting to hear back from a few of the
I
folks.
mean,
In the media, do you have PBS?
I have them as one of the sites and stations, yeah, but they're not going to be helpful.
that's the
PBS
one.
is
The one.
not, friendly to anti-climate or anything along that line.
Huh.
It's not necessarily anti-climate. It's just they're not planning for the future. I mean, there's going to be other energy sources. That was the other thing too, is obsolescence. You know, this thing is not, solar farms aren't going to be around in 10, 15 years. But they're not looking at that.
Is anybody?
Unless they do something with technology and all of a sudden they're super efficient, but right now they aren't.
Has anybody heard? Somebody testified last week about talking to a couple of different battery companies, and there's a different battery.
Yeah,
Talking at who?
Battery companies.
there's
There's
a
a
safer
different
one.
structure of battery. It must not be as good. I don't know, but it didn't have anything harmful in it.
I think it was water-based.
Water. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But water-based would just freeze up.
Well, no, not if it's generating heat from all that electricity going through. We were down. Where were we? We went. We were down by Viroqua, and we saw a bunch of panels, but they were not. They were not like a solar farm. They must have been for a business that was there, because there were probably 30, and they were all covered with snow.
Yeah.
And I said to Chris, I said, "Well, I bet those babies are generating a lot of power right now."
Well, our grocery warehouse put them on top of one of their buildings, and they weren't happy with the,
Circle?
yeah, they weren't happy with the results. But they were told they cannot remove the snow; it has to fall off.
Oh, jeez.
They weren't supposed to touch the panels.
Well, remember we asked that at the original request, and they said, oh, they tilt.
Some do.
Tilt and the snow will come off, what, 8 inches?
Some do. Yeah, the ones, the ones in the fields, they do, yes. Ones in buildings, I don't know if they have mechanics on those. I think they're fixed,
I think they said there's going to be a permanent,
yeah.
they don't tilt or anything, they're going to be set.
It's it's a weight and all sorts of other issues it brings in if they try to do that on buildings.
Well, Carl, I guess From
I'd say, well, yep, everybody keep digging. Look, just keep digging. There's always new information coming out. The one came out, December 3rd, was on the heavy metals coming down. That was last week. I mean, there's just more and more bad news coming out about some of this stuff. So
What do we
just,
do when we find stuff then?
well, send it to me.
Okay.
that video, if I find it, I'll forward it on to you guys, but it was basically, it was the managing director of the timber company saying how that in the past that we've worked with the town of Rome and let them use our land, and we're gonna continue to do that. And I'm gonna say yeah, sure, the scenery has now been modified, so
And how would we even use it? They're not gonna let us go.
you have to go around it.
That's what I'm saying. We're not gonna be using their land. There'll be a fence. Where's there'll be fences? We'll be in the ditches along the fence. We've been to places that, like the airport. Remember when we
Yeah.
had to go around the airport?
I could play it here. I got it. I think this is the one you're talking about.
Hi, I'm Craig Seaman, the manager of Meteor Timbers property in the town of Rome. Over the years, we've partnered with the town of Rome and Adams County on lots of different projects: snowmobile, ATV trails, parks, and county forest land. For years, we've opened our Rome land to the public for nature trails by keeping it known as Managed Forest Land Open. We've also worked out agreements so the community could use ATV and UTV trails at no cost. We could have changed the land to closed status at any time, but we've always believed in being good neighbors and keeping it open for everyone to enjoy. If the Akron project moves forward, some trails might need adjusting, but we're working closely with Akron Solar to design the site so updated trails will still let people use the land. As property owners, we have the right to decide how to use our land, but we're committed to staying good neighbors and working with the Rome and Adams County communities as this project develops.
Could we
Businessman goes to see the
work
Pope.
that we respond to them?
Well,
We
what
didn't
he
put a
doesn't,
comment on there.
what he doesn't say is that the MFL open lands is $28.80 tax an acre for 40 acres a year. If they close it, it goes up to I think 43 or something like that. So that's it's
They would-
money. It's nothing else.
Right.
Well, every time the federal government has free money out there are smart people that live in this country that are going to figure out how to separate them from the government.
Our money.
Yeah,
our money.
taxpayer money.
I know.
Yeah. That's the worst part of it.
Thanks for finding that, Carl.
Oh, Jeff sent it to me. He found it.
So then, do we meet again? Do we just wait? It's kind of wait and see then?
Yeah,
Is
we
there
can
next
we can
steps?
we can adjourn today with a next meeting to be determined, or we could just when somebody feels we have something critically important to talk about, or anything doesn't have to be critically important, but we could.
I'll pass along conversations I have with Stan that I'm able to. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So if they make a decision sooner than later, it'll just show up on the PSC.
well, that I got to find out. It should be announced, and I think it's got to be an open meeting.
Okay.
Can I go back to the 350 Wisconsin? Who was commenting about?
Me,
Yeah, I got that.
Okay. I was looking at.
you find them?
I did. I was looking at, yep.
Nice
I was
outfit,
looking
huh?
At their website, and they have a section on regenerative land relations. So they go on, there's more carbon stored in the soil than all the Earth's plants and atmosphere together. We can draw more out of the atmosphere. We can draw more out of the atmosphere and into the ground by following land management practices that are not just sustainable but regenerative. By protecting restorative lands and waters, we can sequester 1/3 of the carbon needed by 2030 to prevent global temperatures from rising, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, their premise on this is regenerative land relations.
Yeah, it's well, who's ever paying them the most?
Yeah, yep, not just,
It's a
preserving, but restoring, exploiting the land. So I did find them.
I sent it out. It's on the websites now. So
Yeah, I followed.
and some comments. I'm getting nastier in the comments, by the way.
It's okay. So really our focus should be in the next 24 hours, get as many people on that.
Yeah,
PSC.
today, tomorrow. It's just anybody can think of. Told my-
Is it working? Are people going out there?
There's 368 comments on there as of this morning.
There were 200 and something last week, so there's a few people.
Yeah,
there.
Well,
there was a Here this morning too, already.
Yep. There's about 7 or 8 more this morning.
President poll.
Yeah. Yeah,
have
we got
that on
one.
our,
And I think it was Jeff Staley went on there and did the
She
numbers.
did. It was only like 2 lines.
Yeah. He went on there and said it's like 80% are Rome residents, and with one exception, everybody's against. All the positives are not Rome residents. They're California, Michigan, they're Florida, they're all over the place. It's just nonsense.
So you have to address where you live?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When you go on your comment section, you got to put in there your address. Yeah.
Okay.
do we have a hyperlink on our website?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Go right to there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You go right
Yeah.
directly to the comments page, not to like the tab, but
Well, you
right
have
the
to-
actual page.
You have to start off with comments because otherwise it won't take you in there anymore. They've got it all screwed up.
Oh,
It's
But how do we verify that?
verify what?
Anybody can sit back and have an alias name on something like
I put
that.
Vito in there 5 times, so.
Pardon me?
I put Vito in there 5 times.
Vito Focaccia. But when you think,
On there more than once or no?
but no, when
You go on there more
you
than
know as well as I do,
Yes
there
or
are
no?
people on social media under aliases.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so how do we know?
We don't.
That's my point.
You don't. But I go on there, I see a lot of names I recognize. You know, they're Rome people, not a problem. And you can comment. They have the original comment period on there, and then you're allowed to put a second comment when the second comment period was opened up. You can't put one on there because you spoke at the meeting, so your comment's already included.
I can tell you, I'm looking at this right now, and just today, 12/11. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I would say probably at least 20.
Yeah. Top left corner. Top left corner will tell you the total.
Carl, you're saying if we talked at
382.
that hearing, we can't comment on that?
Not on the current comment section. You shouldn't. It won't count.
You
Supposedly.
can comment as your husband.
Yes.
Do
You got a dog?
House count?
I could use my dog Mia. So
There you go.
Any friends, folks, anybody. As long as they're letting anybody on there, what the hell, why not?
we have about as much confidence that the PSC is going to read those as they are going to read our testimony. Correct?
Well, he did say that they have gotten into deep discussions on comments they have read on past ones. So it's not like they are ignoring it. And I think they would ignore it at their peril at this point. You got 380 something?
382, and that's probably about 20, 25 new ones just today,
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody in your household?
within the last few minutes even.
Okay.
Let me take a look, see if see if my kids got through.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I was thinking they had to be residents of Rome, but they don't.
Oh, Laura True, she's normal. She's from here.
She's normal.
Part of the house is gonna be his anyway.
Kent and Ally both
Lot
live
of them
there.
aren't.
Tom lives there, so,
There you go, Denise.
you know.
Kent lives in your house and Ally lives there, and
These two won't count, they didn't put a last name.
anybody that lives in your name?
Susan.
He's from here.
How about if they
Angel
don't?
and
Like my
Dodie.
son, why can't he comment?
He can.
He can.
That's what he said.
Yep.
Don't see my kids on
He
it.
said he sent it to, because there's all these
You don't have to
people-
live here. You can make.
There's all
Apparently.
these people from around the country saying that they're for it, and they're not from here.
There's a lot of them from Madison. Go figure.
Looks like the admin lodges his name is Michael Newmark, right? He put in the appearance slip submitted by people who spoke at the 12/3/25 public hearing session. That's in there.
That's a big one then.
Do you by chance have a
Yeah, it's
question
big
for
PDF
us?
document.
You've been sitting here through this meeting. Do you have what's going through your mind out there? You're like,
Just taking it all in.
Did you attend the meeting last week too? Did you see the
No,
meetings last week?
no, I don't get out much.
Well, then good. I'm glad that you came to our meeting today, because
Are you from Roll?
Yeah, this is Ally, this is Kent's significant other. And her original concerns, she voiced at the public meeting in July about the environment. Because she's, real concerned about what this is gonna do with displacement.
Ooh, anybody got any contacts with the school? Nakusa School?
Well, Kent's son, my grandson, goes to the school.
Have them sign up. They got kind of an e-alert system or something at the school?
Well, they've got a format that I have not been able to make it work. So.
Actually,
Wait a minute, I have Nacusa School District on Facebook, though.
okay. I mean, we're 70% of their budget. Give us a hand here.
That's true.
Yeah, well, it
Maybe you
looks
should
like
go to
he
the
submitted-
school board.
Went to the last one, and she didn't like my comments, but
Oh.
whatever.
Looks like what was submitted by that judge, all the
Oh,
signatures.
all the signatures.
Yep, so 200 and, I think it said 239 pages worth of all the signatures is what it looks like.
Yeah, that's about right.
You could put it out there on the Nacusa
Wow, there was
School-
only 83
School Facebook. you know,
pages
just to
of
put
the
it out there
signatures.
saying
Must be more.
Oh, you know
about
what?
Commenting on the PSC
You know what it looks like it
website.
did? So there's a blank
That's a
page.
testimony.
Oh,
So when they scanned it, probably because it's a PDF document, when it's scanned, it probably did both sides. They probably did two sides because there's blank
a lot
pages
of
in
blank
here too.
pages, okay. Huh.
So, yeah, it's like every other one is a blank page, so they scanned it two-sided. And he just put it in that way instead of taking those pages out.
Okay, I guess,
Well,
anybody have anything else?
Not yet.
I just put next date,
Check the email when I get home.
meeting date and time is TBD.
To be determined, yeah. Okay. All right, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll
Second.
second.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everybody. We're adjourned.
We are. Well, you guys, it's been real.
One finger salute.
How about this? How about move on? Move on like you said you would. Move on. I know a nice little city in Illinois that might like you.